Hey everybody, it's Paul from Getting Fit at 50. Today I want to take a look at how to use Renaissance Fitness Hypertrophy app. Actually, I just use it through my email. I actually don't have a app on my phone, so I end up using the computer and I set all my workouts. And I was just going to set up a new workout, and I'm like, well, hey, I should just show people how to use it. It's a really good app. I'm going to tell you right now, I really love it. It's been really helpful, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I really like about it. As we create my next routine for the coming week or the coming next couple of weeks. So dive in with me here and I'll show you how it all works and some of the benefits. So the first thing here is I'm actually done with my last routine. So I can take a look at different statistics and stuff like that within here. So I can go to summary and then it tells me how many workouts I've done, if I skipped or if I didn't complete one. It also shows my muscle groups and tells you how much I've on average, what have I done for each average set. It shows you sort of, I went through this, so I have a DL means deloading, and so you don't do as many reps. And so you can sort of see how the app trains you to go up higher reps. So generally, at least according to this particular mesocycle, you can sort of see how that sort of progressively got harder for me over a period of time. The other thing we can do is take a look at the exercises themselves. And we can look at the different workouts through the weeks by simply clicking on up here. And you can take a look at the different workouts. And so if I look at what the interesting thing here is, so if I want to take a look and see how much I progressed on my machine chest press, I can look each week and say I started at 125, then I went up to 127.5, then I went up to 130, and then 132.5, and they also had me do 5 reps of 122.5. And then you can see on the last week it had me do 135 and then a couple of reps of 125. You can see for the deloading week it has me do a machine chest press of just 8 reps for 122.5. And so you can go through each of your different workouts and look at each of the different things and see how well you progressively got better on your weight as you got stronger over the period of time. So I really appreciate this, so I can sort of see for myself how much stronger I'm getting. So here, if we could take a look at some of the different things on the left side of the menu here, you can see what your current workout is. As you can see, I need to build a new one or use one of the ones that they provide, and we can take a look at some of the different ones here that they provide for us. And we can look at mesocycles. Again, you can see the ones that I've done. I started in June and have gone up through November. You have templates here, so you have different templates you can look at. You know, it's that cool stuff like if you want to work upper body, you can do Superman workout. I did the Thor workout. I think I did the Thor. Let's take a look. So I don't think I've done the Thor workout yet, or I can do take a look at some of these other ones here. And I'm probably going to stick to 5 days a week simply because that works best with my particular schedule. But they have several that are 6 days, and you can tailor make some of these as well too. You can do custom exercises. I added a machine ab push. At least that's where I go to Planet Fitness. Unfortunately, that's the gym that's closest to me, and that works out the best for me. I can plan a new mesocycle, and so again, I can build a mesocycle from scratch. So a mesocycle is basically sort of what is your workout for that particular time? What are you going to work on? You can change your theme to dark to white, and you have profile settings, subscription, and of course you can sign out here. So let's take a look on how to simply build, and they do a really good job of making it easy to sort of figure out how we're going to build the next sort of cycle that we're going to do. So I'm going to take a look here and sort of figure out what do I feel like in terms of working out this week. I'm going to do 5 days a week because that's been working well for me. I just got done, as we can take a look at my templates, or actually as we take a look at my mesocycles, as you can just see, I can do a whole body 5 days, includes trap and abs. So let's just take a look at some of the templates, and we can add stuff to them as well too. Like I said, I really would just want to do 5 days a week. So maybe we might do. So when you see these things up here, it tells you what it sort of emphasizes: the chest and the back, or the upper body. I still really want to do whole body, though the thing I'm concerned with is I just don't think I'm going to have 6 days a week. I like to do 5 because then if I have something come up in the morning, I can do that. But let's take a look here and see what I can find. For this next couple mesocycles, I think I'm going to do an upper body emphasis. So I'm going to take a look at that. So I'm simply going to click on the thing here. And so here's what it talks about of how the exercise normally works. So you have Monday through Friday. You do a chest, 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 triceps, shoulders, quads, and glutes. So you are still doing some of these other muscles as well too. So it's an emphasis, but it doesn't mean that you're still not. And you can take a look down here as well. It says secondary muscle groups will be progressed to maintain or slightly increase size and greatly enhance strength without targeting maximum growth. And so I'm going to work on my upper body because I'm also working on the David Goggins thing of trying to run 12 miles a day. And so that's why I'm like, I'm not going to kill myself in terms of until I get that sort of figured out. So that's why I'm sort of doing an upper body emphasis. So if you look for Tuesday, again, you still have that hamstrings and calves. You have forearms, back, biceps. Wednesdays is your tricep days. You have chest. Thursdays is the bicep days. And Friday is shoulders, quads, glutes, hamstrings, and calves. And so, again, you can sort of see that you still are filling in some of these other things as well too, but you're really working on trying to figure out your chest, back, and a lot of these other movements too as we go through are going to be working on more than just one muscle group at a time. So like I said, you do biceps here, and you also do biceps here. So let's take a look too. You're doing chest 3 days a week here, and I'm assuming Wednesday, yep, you have a chest day there. Back on Tuesday, and then you'll have back on Thursday. So the nice thing about, so even when we're working with this particular thing, and I don't, Dr. Mike was saying that it's always good to do a muscle group at least twice in a week. And so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to try to give this a roll. And so I think I'm going to pick this. The only thing I don't like about looking at it on my computer is that I always have to scroll way down to say plan new mesocycle. I think that's the only thing I don't like. At least, now the bad thing is I am using Safari. And so maybe it has to do with more Safari. So let's plan a new mesocycle. And so we can take a look here at all the different chest exercises we can do. And so we're just going to add, and we can add a muscle group in as well too. So if I also want to do abs, or if I want to do traps, I can do that as well too, and we'll do that here as well. So I'm just going to give you a couple of examples of how to do different things. So if we take a look at chest, we just simply click choose an exercise, and you can see all the different types of exercises it allows you to do. There's quite a few, and depending on what kind of machines you have, or if you have a lot of, depending on what kind of weights you have, it's really good to sort of figure out, okay, I want to try this or I want to try that. And the other nice thing is I believe if we click on the arrow, yep, it's got a YouTube video showing you how to do this particular type of movement. And so if you're like, well, maybe I'll try that. You can take a look at that and view that on YouTube. So I'm going to go through here and start planning stuff. And so when I get down to the end, I'm also going to put in abs, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so I created Monday right now. You can sort of see some of the different exercises I've been doing. And then I simply go to add a muscle group if I want to add something, and you can see the different things I can add. So if I want to add like forearms, I'm going to add abs because I've been trying to work on my abs. And I simply go to choose an exercise like we do before, and then pick what works for me. So I'm going to take a moment here and figure out what I want to do next. Okay, it took a couple moments. It doesn't take very long to do this. Again, if you need to clear out the exercise, just hit the little garbage can and it'll clean out that for you. Again, you can add as many muscle groups as you want. So I think I'm pretty happy with that for right now. So then what I do next is I simply go create mesocycle, and then I can type the name of this. So you can write the name of your mesocycle. So the next question is how many weeks will you train, including deload? So that last week is going to be a deload, which means you're going to not have as much weight on there. So it's basically like 3 weeks of progressively getting stronger, and then 1 week of deloading. Right now, I'm going to try for about 5 weeks. And so that'll mean 4 weeks of training and then 1 week of deload. And just to then ask you which units I'm measuring, I'm in the United States, so I'm going to use pounds. And so I simply hit create. And this is what it looks like for me tomorrow when I begin my workout. I'm currently filming this on a Sunday. And so you can see here, what it'll do here is I'll say, okay, what's your weights? Now, since we're starting with this particular cycle, we have to sort of pick our weights. And so it tells us here how to warm up and choose. So basically what they have you do is you begin with doing 12 reps first, and then do your 30 rep max for 12 reps, rest a minute, do your 20 rep max for 8 reps, rest a minute. So what they're basically having you do is, so like your 4 reps that you're actually putting in is 4 reps of if you were doing a 10 rep max set. So that way you can sort of figure out how tired your muscles are going to get. So let's take a look at day 1 and see how we are going to figure this out. So what they have you do is how to warm up. And so basically what they have you do is start with 12 reps and then do 8 reps and do 4 reps. This is sort of warming the muscle up. So you're basically going through the motion of what your set is going to be, but it's just preparing the muscle. Now, for me, I've not been doing this first step where I do 12 reps first. So I basically start with 8 reps and do 4 reps and then go right into the working reps that I do. And so as we look through here, using the weights, I sort of look back on what I've done in the past and say, okay, so what have I done in the past and what can I do here? And so a lot of times too, I'll just start looking at the gym and I'll try the motion and say, okay, what are some reps that I can do? It asks you to do about 3 reps to sort of figure that out. You can do, to promote maximum muscle growth, we provide specific target reps for you to shoot for whenever you can. If it's a new set without specific target reps, perform your reps with great technique and do your best to stop at the target rep for the exercise. So right now my target rep is 3. So when I go to the gym tomorrow, I'm going to try the machine fly, and then I'm going to put a weight in. I'm going to figure out, and so the one nice thing too is when I'm figuring out that beginning weight, I know what my test weight is. And so I'm going to try the 8 reps and the 4 reps sort of guide me. If those 4 reps are really easy, I know I'm going to really have to jack the weight up a lot. And like I said, I can look back in previous weeks and figure out, okay, what was my previous week cycle with the fly? And then I sort of can know, okay, this is sort of the ballpark of where I'm at. And so you go through each of these, you write in your numbers, and then as you go through the different sets, you'll progressively get harder and harder. Either the reps will go up or the weight will go up. But they do a good job of helping your body and your muscles grow. One of the things that I really have loved about this app, and so I'm approaching this as someone who hasn't done a lot of weightlifting before, and so coming in at 50, having not done any weight training at all, it's been neat to see sort of my progression. I think I started with like a bench press. I started maybe with 40 pounds, and now I'm up to 75 pounds. And I've been doing this for about 6 months now. So I'm really excited with how my weight is going in terms of being able to have strength. I really like this app because before this, I really never knew what I was gaining in terms of strength. I was always sort of guessing from week to week. So this app does a great job of sort of figuring out what your weight is, what your reps should be, and it does a good job of creating strength. And so I've been really happy with the RP Hypertrophy app. I feel like it challenges me. It does a good job when we go through these exercises, and I'll give you an instant of that. So let's an instance of that. And so what will happen is after you put in your weight, so let's say we're lifting 100 pounds, we do 5 reps. And when we get done with this particular exercise, a lot of times they'll ask you, how's your joint pain? And so it sort of figures out if you're having a lot of joint pain when you're doing stuff, it's probably going to back you down. And so it keeps asking you that. And then it also asks you the quality of the exercise, are you really challenging yourself? And if you say, yeah, it's pretty good, they're going to keep moving you up. Now, if you ever say, there's been a point when I was trying to do triceps, and I don't know if it was a particular machine or what it was, but I was having trouble with it, so it backed me down from what I was doing. And you can, on the fly, go in and change the weight as well too. If you've been going through the program and suddenly in week 3 you're really saying, well, my machine fly should be 125 pounds versus 120 pounds, or it should be 130 pounds, and I really started out at 100 pounds, you can go through and manipulate that and change that right in the app and tell it, hey, I'm going to do 100 pounds today. Maybe you're feeling particularly strong that day or particularly weak. And so you can change it on the fly. You can also, when you put your reps in, let's say your rep range was 5, and you can only do 3. There's been a couple of days I've done that as well too. It records that and lets us know that that particular day was not so good for that. And it adjusts that too. So if you have several exercises with your, let's say your triceps that you're not hitting your rep range, it's going to readjust the amount of reps it has, or it would readjust the weight to make sure you get in the right amount of reps. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of learning how to use the RP Hypertrophy app. Again, I've really enjoyed this. If you haven't had a chance to use it yet, if you're looking for something that's very helpful, that keeps you right on task, like I said, I can't tell you how much I've really enjoyed this. It's been a great app, wonderful to work with. Thank you, Dr. Mike, for making such a great product.